All right, guys, now that football season is pretty much here, we got preseason going on. To me, I think it's time that I give you my list of the top 5 quarterbacks heading into this season. Number 1, I believe it's Josh Allen. I believe Josh Allen did more with less, and he did win more games than the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. He's just as athletic as Lamar, not as fast, but he's big and strong. He's developed into a tremendous passer. He has a cannon of an arm still. And at the end of the day, he can put a team on his back, as we've seen, and he can take them far, but he still needs a little bit more help, and I think he'll get it this year. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had Derrick Henry rush for over 1,800 yards, and he still threw for over 40 touchdowns. And not only that, he was first-team All-Pro. Now, granted, being first-team All-Pro and not winning the MVP is kind of shocking to me, because when you're a first-team All-Pro, that means you were the best player. You're the best player at that position, and he didn't win. But that's okay. Lamar Jackson has shown, and he's improved a lot, and he knows how to win in the regular season, but he just has to put it together a little bit more in the postseason. I understand it's a team sport. I understand what happened with Mark Andrews and the fact that he turned the ball over twice in the first half. And he did play against the Bills. But at the end of the day, I think Lamar Jackson, now that he has DeAndre Hopkins, I believe Zay Flowers will be healthy again. And I think with another year under this system again, I think Lamar Jackson has a great chance of becoming the best quarterback in the league again, but that remains to be seen. But Lamar Jackson is number 2. Number 3, no, it's not Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, to me, is the best passing quarterback. He's the best passer in football right now. You can't give me nobody else who's a better passer than him. The way he quarterbacks a team, well, at least an offense, second to none. Seriously, because he doesn't have to do the sidearm. He's not the most athletic, but he reminds me of a very accurate but a stronger arm Drew Brees. Seriously, his command of the offense is perfect. Granted, he does have 2 great receivers, and he has talent around him on offense. And the reason why he's not higher up, even though number 3 is pretty high up, is that when you're a quarterback, you have to make your defense better. And that means you have to control the clock, because if you just keep scoring fast at a fast rate, the defense is already bad. It's going to be worse because now they don't get any rest. The one thing I would say with Burrow is if he can do better with controlling the tempo of the game, I think that definitely helps the Bengals entirely, because, as a quarterback, it's not just about your stats. It's about how many team wins your team can get. And Joe Burrow, last year and the last several years, they've gotten off the bad starts. Like, they start off really slow, and they missed the playoffs 2 consecutive years now. That can't happen again. But Joe Burrow by himself, number 3. Number 3 to me, because it's hard to pass up Josh Allen, who just won the MVP, and it's hard to pass up Lamar Jackson, who many people say should have won the MVP last year. Number 4, I would have to give it to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, he does not have the weapons of a Joe Burrow. He does not have the weapons of a Lamar Jackson. Heck, I mean, you could say I think Josh Allen might have had a little bit of a better, like him and his weapons and Pat Mahomes' weapons were very similar. But the difference is that Pat Mahomes finds a way to win, or if you want to be funny, you say the refs and Pat find a way to win. But he's a better game manager now, so he doesn't have to throw over 50 touchdowns, because he doesn't have the talent to throw over 50 touchdowns. Like, he doesn't have the skill position, the skill receivers to do that anymore. Not yet, at least. But the fact that the Chiefs were again in the Super Bowl again, the fact that the Chiefs still know how to win. Now, granted, that's more so also because he has Andy Reid, and that defense. I mean, before Super Bowl, that defense has been elite these last 3 years. The Chiefs have an elite defense, but Patrick Mahomes is the commander of that ship. Now, the reason why he is number 4 And some people would say why he should be lower. Could you imagine, though, if he had the weapons of a Jalen Hurts? Could you imagine the weapons? You give Pat Mahomes Jamar Chase. What do you think happens? They win the Super Bowl. You give Pat Mahomes T. Higgins. You give Pat Mahomes A.J. Brown. You give Pat Mahomes Devontae. You give Pat Mahomes a running game. Remember, Pacheco broke his leg in the beginning of the year. You give Pat Mahomes Derrick Henry. Are you kidding me? Yeah, by far he'd be the number one quarterback because he has the help. He has the help that he needs. Right now, it's duct tape right now. He's been playing the system with duct tape right now, and they're still winning. So I got Pat Mahomes at number 4, even though the consensus is that he's the best out of this tier. But we're talking about stats, and we're talking about your performance. Your performance doesn't warrant being number 1. He just doesn't. But he is still a top 5 quarterback in the league. And speaking of number 5, I got Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford still can spin it. Look, the Eagles dogged everybody in the playoffs. The one team that almost got them was the Rams. And that was because Matthew Stafford can still spin that ball. Matthew Stafford still throws a pretty ball. He's one of the best throwers of the football in the league. Still, he might be number 2, right behind Burrow maybe. I think he has more arm talent than Burrow, though. The only thing is that Matthew Stafford, his body breaks down a little bit more. He has some back issues. But we're talking about the quarterback. We're talking playing the position of quarterback. Matthew Stafford is still up there. Matthew Stafford, to me, is a top 5 quarterback in the league. I don't care what anybody says. You can give me Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has to manage the game. Matthew Stafford ain't managing the game. Matthew Stafford has to play well for them to win. And that's why Jalen Hurts is not in the top 5. I don't care if you won a championship. You won a championship because that Eagles defense was crazy. That's the best defensive line. That was the best defense in the league. And they even got hotter at the right time. And you still almost lost to the Rams. I'm telling you now, Matthew Stafford is still a top 5 quarterback in this league. I think that's my list. I got Josh Allen 1, Lamar Jackson 2, Joe Burrow 3, Pat Mahomes 4, and I got Matt Stafford 5. You let me know if I got it wrong, but if not, I'll end this video right now. Remember to like and subscribe. Then I'm going to go into the top 5 receivers later on. Check that out. But until then, that's my list. You let me know what you think.